on day 2 of the Cornerstone Classic. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside Mole Arena as we get ready for our second day of games, or I should say one game here today between St. Xavier, the 0-1 Cougars, and Indiana Tech, who comes into this game 1-1. My name's Nate Wangler. Alongside me, my entire broadcasting crew. To my right, Luke Strock. To my left, Zach Canaliche. As the three of us get ready to bring you this game. And Luke, Zach, exciting to be back inside Mole Arena. Exciting to have college basketball. It does look a little bit different with everyone having to wear masks, but it's just exciting to be back inside Mole Arena, especially as we get ready to see these two teams. Both very impressive, a lot of talent, and a lot to talk about on both sides.
Well, this was an exciting weekend to come into it before everything got bombshelled after the new legislation from Michigan, despite the CDC's ruling, but there was 3 of the 4 teams were receiving votes coming into this weekend, including IU East, that decided to not play this weekend. But it was going to be exciting basketball, and last night, just the whole environment of Mole Arena and being able to get at least a sense of what was 2019 in 2020 has been a great time.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a fun time. We saw a really good game last night with Cornerstone and St. Xavier. Came down to a 91-83 win for the Golden Eagles, but now we get our first look at the Indiana Tech Warriors this season.
A lot of history for the Indiana Tech Warriors in this building, including their head coach, Ted Albert. A little bit more coming up on Tech in just a little bit, but let's start off with St. Xavier. Zach, you and I were on that basketball game last night, a 91-83 loss at the hands of Cornerstone to open their season. What went wrong for St. Xavier in that basketball game that they have to correct coming into this game? Because you and I talked about this. It was a close game all throughout. We expected a dogfight from the beginning. We did not expect it to end the way that it did, and we talked about rust a lot. My number one thing is turnovers. I'm almost sure it'll be probably the same way with you, but what went wrong for the Cougars in last night's contest?
Well, as you said, we're going to start with the turnovers. Just ridiculous amount. 22 turnovers to 12 assists. That is unforgivable, and you're not going to win games when you have that many turnovers to assist. And we talked about it. It was a problem for this team last year. Another problem was silly mistakes. We talked about it. They had an inbound play. Instead of a simple handoff to someone, they toss an alley-oop. They get a transition steal. Look to move the ball up court. You can hit a simple bounce pass. No. Let's go behind the back and hope for the best. Silly plays by the Cougars that costed them majorly last night. They need to fix that and play good fundamental basketball here today.
Obviously, the Cougars entering a new phase of their basketball program. Scott Campbell taking over as the new head coach here for St. Xavier after being a longtime assistant, 7 years as an assistant coach here between St. Xavier and Elmhurst. And obviously that was a tough way to open the season, but I think you're right, trying to make things too complicated. You know, Tom O'Malley was the coach here at St. Xavier, 1,000 career wins. He helped these guys to over 500 wins during his time here. I don't know Tom. Personally, I've never met Tom, but a lot of times with those old school coaches, right, the rule is make the easy play. Don't make things more complicated. Don't go behind the back. Don't do the alley-oop to start the game. I'm pretty sure Coach O'Malley would be right on the same page with you, so clean up a lot of the mental mistakes. Look for that for St. Xavier if they look to win this game tonight. And obviously on the other end, Luke and Zach, we talk about Indiana Tech and Ted Alberts. 10 years inside this gym as an assistant coach, won a national championship in 2015. Heck, he played here at Cornerstone and he himself won a national title back in 2011, so he has 2 rings here from Cornerstone. He's a part of that very impressive Coach E coaching tree, if you will. A lot of the guys that have gone on to have a lot of success. 1-1 coming into tonight's game. Favorites to win the WAC in the preseason polls. What should we expect from the Warriors here tonight?
Well, you're going to see targets from all over the place. There are 4 Warriors that are averaging double digits after 2 games starting off the 2020 campaign. And the likes of Klein, McKinney, Smith, and Stein, all respectively 18 and 14, 13 points per game. Scoring has been always huge for the Warriors, and especially against Cornerstone. It's always a high-scoring affair here in Mole Arena. And any tough opponent with the Warriors in the past, starting off the 2020, they had a back-and-forth bout with Indiana Wesleyan down in Marion, Indiana, losing 97-88, but it was a 10-2 run by the Wildcats that ended up messing them over by the end of the night. So that's going to be one thing for Indiana Tech, is you have to keep your foot on the throttle at all times.
Well, look, Luke, I've seen this team for years now, and the big key with them, like we say with Cornerstone, they love running through the paint, and it starts with Klein and Learman. Those two big men down there do a lot of damage for the Tech Warriors. But the big key here is Grant Smith, the transfer from IWU. As a freshman, Grant Smith averaged 15 points a game at IWU. Had to leave the school, couple problems. He's here now. He's a stud here as well. He won a national championship with IWU. This kid has experience not only in the collegiate level, but at a high level too. So these type of moments never faze him.
You know, it's funny, when you look at Indiana Tech and if you look at Cornerstone side by side and you start drawing comparisons, one of the many comparisons that you can draw, as we talked about, diversity in scoring. Everybody knows how to score on this team. Josh Klein has 37 points. Corey McKinney has 36 points. Grant Smith has 28 points. Raj Stein, 26 points. Max Perez, 19 points. There's not one guy that they turn to score all of their points. The biggest issue area, though, free throw shooting. Indiana Tech, 61% free throw shooting coming into today's game. Guys, Shaq was a 58% free throw shooter in his career in the NBA. Shaq. Ben Wallace was a little bit worse than that. So you have to improve on your free throw shooting. If you don't do that, pretty simple, you don't win this basketball game.
Well, they upped their game to 70% coming into tonight after facing IWU the other day. So they're slowly getting back into it, but my concern is the three-point shooting. They're only shooting 28% from beyond the arc right now, and as they face tougher opponents, like in Indiana Wesleyan, you're going to have all of your cylinders running, and so far, they might have a little bit of leeway with St. Xavier, who has also been struggling from beyond the arc as well.
Boys, can we just have a laugh for a minute as we compare these issues of Indiana Tech to the Cornerstone team here? Are these two teams not so similar? Oh, yeah, and where's the coach from? He's one of Coach
And there's a reason why they're number one and number two every single year in the WAC. But more on that coming up next. Starting lineups and first tip coming up, about 16 seconds until the national anthem. Again, this is day 2 of the Cornerstone Classic right here on the Cornerstone Sports Network.